Hey there, this is Ultramat17. This is going to be a video reply to Truthsayer's review of The Bash pay-per-view. Um, this is going to be thoughts from what it was like to be at the show live, because me and my roommates, we were able to make it to this this event live. We had actually really good seats, uh, right above the upper level. We were in these little box seats, so we had uh, unobstructed view of the ring and the announce crew and everything like that. We had great seats. Really lucked out on that. We actually had to had to prove it to a few other people. Like had to have it independently verified by the event staff that we had the awesome seats that we did. All right, so we came out to that show. We didn't intend to come to this show to be like total smarks, but that's what ended up happening due to the fact that we had guys that we liked that were fighting other guys or going wrestling guys that we liked more. So we ended up cheering for the heels quite a bit during the night. Anyway, we had a dark match to start us off. We had R-Truth versus Shelton Benjamin. This was a nice, fun little 3 to 5 minute match. Wasn't timing it, so I had no idea how long it was, but it was okay. R-Truth got some chants going with the "What's Up," and he and Shelton had a nice little fun little warm-up match to get the crowd going. Probably a star and a half, not bad, nothing horrible. Then the match opened up with the ECW title Scramble Match. This was a lot of fun. I like the scramble concept, especially when they do something like what they did with this match, with the finish, with everybody just piling on top of each other trying to get this last pin. This was a lot of fun. Christian and Swagger were good choices to start. Christian was super mad over. There was lots of "Let's go Christian" chants. This crowd was hot for Christian, and the crowd was hot for a lot of this pay-per-view. We had a great crowd at Arco Arena this Sunday. So they were real into this match. They were really into Christian. They were into Tommy Dreamer too, and everyone was excited to see him retain. I was a bit surprised, and I think Tommy looked surprised too. So that was a nice little hidden highlight there. Good match, lots of cool spots. Really digged Swagger and his Vader bomb, going like halfway across the ring with it. Good, solid 2.5-star match. Pretty good for an opener, or not a great opener, but a decent opener. Then we came to the match of the night: Jericho versus Mysterio, title versus mask. This was amazing. These two guys went out and totally busted their asses, putting on a great match. It was fast paced. It was all kinds of false finishes. We had counters to counters to counters to counters. We had great teases with the walls of Jericho. Me and my roommates who were there, the four of us, we were totally marking out for this because we're all big Jericho fans. We were screaming, it's like tap when it's a lot of fun. Getting weird looks from the little kid that was sitting next to us who was a Mysterio fan. He was like wondering how he ended up sitting next to these evil people that are cheering for the bad guys. But match of the night, excellent. 4.5 stars easily. I'd say if it wasn't for Michaels versus Taker, this would probably be the match of the year. So definitely match of the year contender. Excellent match. If you have to order this show, order it for this match. That's how good it was. Next we had Dolph Ziggler versus Great Khali. This was what it was. This was basically a vehicle to get Kane back and to sort of give Dolph Ziggler a mid-card heel push. Match itself was okay. It was mostly Ziggler selling like a madman, which he did. He went out there and he bumped for Khali, and it looked pretty good doing it. Khali came off looking good. Ziggler came off looking good. And then, yay, we have a surprise with Kane, which was legitimately surprising. And now we can look forward to Kane versus Khali again. Yay. Then we had the Unified Tag Title match with the Colognes versus Priceless. And then they surprise added Jericho and Edge to this match. This match was good. This was solid. I was already kind of looking forward to this with, like before the pay-per-view, because the Colognes and Priceless can be pretty good. But then once they added Edge and Jericho, we knew they were getting something special, and that's what we got. This was a lot of fun. The crowd interaction really did make this match. I don't know how it came off on pay-per-view, but this crowd was red hot for Edge and Jericho. They wanted Edge in that match so bad. I got all kinds of "We Want Edge" chants, and it was a lot of fun. In ring, it was just kind of okay. Priceless and the Colognes didn't have all that great chemistry that night. Carlito was a bit sloppy, and so was bleh. But crowd interaction was great. So I would say this is 2.5, maybe 3-star match. Probably overrating it a little bit, but hey, the crowd really wanted Edge. Divas match I won't comment on. That was my potty break, so we'll just move on to the world title match, Jericho versus Punk. This was a lot of fun. This was a ton of fun. Jeff Hardy is easily the most over guy on the roster right now. It was very, very clear over the course of this match, which was pretty good, solid. I was expecting maybe a bit better in-ring quality from these two, but it was still very, very good. They worked a good match. Punk dominated for, or at least was very strong throughout most of it, until Hardy started hitting his Twist of Fate and swantons left and right. I actually did dig the finish with the restarting it and then the bullshit DQ. I like that they're doing a kind of a slow build towards Punk's heel turn, because once he fully goes heel, it is going to be totally awesome. Then the next match was John Cena versus The Miz. I was really hoping that they were going to do something other than what they did here tonight, which was to totally have Cena squash The Miz. I mean, I was expecting a squash, but I was hoping that they would give Miz some kind of offense, more offense than he got. Like, maybe show that Miz is potentially in the same league as Cena. But instead, we just had, 3 minutes of Miz getting beat up, then like 2 minutes of Miz getting like a couple moves in, then attitude adjustment, then a STF, and Miz actually tapped with both hands, and those. So there goes Miz's mid-card push. Then we had the main event, Randy Orton versus Triple H, in a 3 stages of boring match, because this match was dull. It dragged on. Sometimes these guys have good chemistry, and sometimes they don't. That night they really didn't have good chemistry. They started off with like an okay Raw match, and then we had the intentional DQ, which was a little confusing, and then it goes to Falls Count Anywhere, which they then used to have Orton get pinned right outside the ring, which I couldn't understand why they would do that. And then they brawled through the crowd, and they brawled slowly, and they just moving from spot to spot at that point. And then the stretcher match, and it was just kind of a mess. The crowd was not really, just kind of died halfway through that match. They were sort of hot early, and then they died, and then they pretty much stayed dead up until the very, very end, where we had the bullshit finish where Orton wins, but somehow Triple H is the guy that stands tall. And people wonder why Raw is stale. Anyway, as far as the pay-per-view overall, this was good, solid pay-per-view. I'd give it a B minus. It was fun. I had a great time at this pay-per-view. Again, I don't know how it came off on pay-per-view. It might have been just okay on pay-per-view, but live, this was a ton of fun. So I would recommend picking up the DVD or ordering it, if only to see Jericho versus Mysterio, because that match was amazing. So good night and have a good day.